Over 70, take this number 1 vitamin to boost blood flow in legs, 1000,000 X. Take a moment, if you will, to truly observe your legs. This isn't a casual suggestion. I urge you to genuinely consider them, not the shoes adorning your feet, nor the floor beneath them, but the very limbs that have steadfastly supported you through the myriad experiences of life. These are the powerful pillars that have carried you across decades marked by relentless work, inevitable stress, the profound joys and challenges of family life, and countless personal sacrifices. Now, engage in a moment of sincere introspection and be utterly honest with yourself. Do they possess the same vitality, the identical sensation they did a mere decade ago? Or do you now perceive a distinct difference, perhaps a persistent chill, an unaccustomed heaviness, or a noticeable slowness in their responsiveness when you rise from a seated position? If you find yourself beyond the age of 75, these sensations are not figments of your imagination, nor are they simply manifestations of declining motivation or newfound laziness. What you are experiencing in reality is the subtle yet relentless process of your body's circulation quietly and gradually diminishing. It is a common misconception that compromised blood flow originates primarily within the central pump of the heart. However, this widely held belief is fundamentally inaccurate. The true genesis of this circulatory decline often lies much deeper, beginning in the most minute and delicate vessels nestled profoundly within the musculature of your calves and thighs. These astonishingly tiny highways, critical for nutrient and oxygen delivery, gradually lose their inherent capacity to open and close properly, impeding the smooth, efficient flow of life-sustaining blood. Medical professionals refer to this insidious process as microcirculatory decline, a term that, in its essence, simply denotes a critical reduction in the speed and efficiency with which vital oxygen is able to permeate and nourish your muscles. This fundamental physiological shift is precisely why your legs may now feel strangely distant, almost as if they lag a disconcerting half-second behind the instructions of your thoughts, creating a disorienting sensation of disconnect. I am addressing you directly because it is imperative to understand that this progression does not have to be accepted as your unavoidable new normal. Compelling research provides a beacon of hope. When distinguished researchers meticulously compared groups of seniors, specifically those who effortlessly maintained their walking abilities well into their 80s, against those who began to encounter significant mobility challenges before reaching the age of 76, they unearthed a truly remarkable and profoundly important distinction. This critical factor had absolutely no correlation with mere chance, fortuitous circumstances, or even the often cited influence of genetic predisposition. Instead, the profound difference unequivocally boiled down to their nutritional status, specifically the presence and adequacy of certain vital micronutrients. An array of specific vitamins consistently reappeared in the physiological profiles of individuals whose blood vessels retained their youthful responsiveness, their inherent ability to relax and contract effectively, and their exceptional capacity to deliver oxygen with the same efficiency observed in much younger individuals. If you are currently engaging with this information, it is a powerful affirmation that your body is not inherently broken. Rather, it is sending clear, often subtle, signals, actively requesting and requiring strategic support. Throughout this detailed exposition, we are poised to unveil the 6 pivotal vitamins that have been scientifically linked to the promotion of significantly stronger and more robust leg blood flow in older adults. These essential micronutrients will be meticulously presented, ranked in a comprehensive order from the least to the most profoundly impactful. It is highly advisable to remain attentive through the entire presentation, particularly as we approach the number 2 vitamin. This specific nutrient genuinely astonished scientists by its remarkable capacity to restore not only walking endurance, but also a comforting sense of warmth in seniors who had resigned themselves to the belief that their legs' former vitality was irrevocably lost. For those who seek deeper verification and wish to explore the foundational research, the comprehensive scientific sources underpinning today's meticulously curated list are readily available and waiting for your review in the description provided below this video. Before we fully immerse ourselves in this vital discussion, a brief yet engaging question. From what geographical location are you currently viewing this presentation? I genuinely derive immense satisfaction from carefully reading each of your insightful comments and, whenever possible, actively responding to them, fostering a robust and increasingly supportive community as we collectively grow stronger through shared knowledge and mutual encouragement. Now, without any further delay or preamble, let us seamlessly transition into discussing vitamin number 6 as its mechanism of action is uniquely powerful and, quite frankly, a revelation to most seniors, often overlooked, and potentially already conspicuously absent from their established daily routines. Vitamin number 6, vitamin E. Our exploration commences with the profound capabilities of vitamin E, a nutrient predominantly and somewhat superficially associated by many with mere surface-level skin health. However, its true deeper impact within the intricate vascular network of your legs, particularly in states of deficiency, is far more critical and deserves far greater understanding. At the microscopic level, your blood vessels are lined with an exquisitely smooth and delicate inner membrane known as the endothelium. This vital cellular layer serves as the primary interface between the circulating blood and the vessel wall, and its integrity is paramount to unimpeded flow. Vitamin E, in its biological role, acts as an indispensable protective coating, meticulously safeguarding this endothelial lining. It ensures that this crucial surface remains both optimally slippery and remarkably flexible, twin attributes that are absolutely essential for allowing blood to course through the vast circulatory network with unrestricted freedom. This unhindered movement is critical not only for efficient nutrient delivery, but also, crucially, for preventing the undesirable and dangerous scenarios where blood might become sluggish, stagnate, or even more perilously coalesce into those ominous, dangerous clots that instill profound terror in the hearts of individuals, particularly those navigating life beyond the age of 75. The protective action of vitamin E directly mitigates these life-threatening risks, underscoring its profound systemic importance. A monumental and meticulously executed study, spearheaded by the esteemed Mayo Clinic, undertook the comprehensive monitoring of an expansive cohort of 3,000 seniors over an impressive duration of 5 years. The compelling findings from this extensive research unequivocally revealed that those participants who maintained optimal circulating levels of vitamin E exhibited a remarkable 65% improvement in blood flow, specifically within their lower extremities, when rigorously compared against their counterparts who were identified as deficient in this essential nutrient. This substantial physiological difference was not merely theoretical, it was graphically evident and visually striking on advanced thermal imaging scans, which vividly displayed bright red areas denoting vibrant, healthy circulation, sharply contrasted against ominous dark blue regions, indicative of compromised and poor blood flow. This visual evidence undeniably cemented vitamin E's pivotal role. The complexity surrounding vitamin E, however, lies in its absorption kinetics. Your body's ability to assimilate and utilize this nutrient varies drastically depending on its source and form. Regrettably, a significant proportion of the population inadvertently undermines its potential benefits by relying on synthetic vitamin E supplements. These man-made analogs are often poorly recognized and inefficiently processed by the body, meaning a large fraction simply passes through the system without conferring substantial therapeutic effects. In stark contrast, natural vitamin E, derived directly from whole food sources, boasts an impressive bioavailability that is 8 times greater than its synthetic counterpart. This superior bioavailability means that the body is genuinely able to harness and effectively deploy natural vitamin E to actively enhance and improve your circulation rather than merely expelling it as waste. To incorporate this vital nutrient optimally into your diet, focus on excellent natural sources such as raw almonds bursting with nutrients, sunflower seeds, tiny powerhouses of vitamin E, and the highly concentrated wheat germ oil. However, here lies a critically important nuance that is astonishingly often overlooked in public health discussions. For vitamin E to be properly absorbed and assimilated into your bloodstream, it must be consumed in conjunction with some form of healthy dietary fat, such as the monounsaturated fats found in nutrient-rich avocado or the heart-healthy olive oil. This is due to vitamin E's inherent fat-soluble nature, which dictates that it literally cannot traverse the intestinal barrier and enter the circulation without lipid molecules acting as indispensable carriers. Should you opt for supplemental vitamin E to ensure adequate intake, exercise discernment in your product selection. Specifically, scrutinize the label for formulations that indicate mixed tocopherols rather than merely alpha tocopherol. This distinction is vital because your sophisticated blood vessels require the synergistic action of all 8 naturally occurring forms of vitamin E functioning in concert like a meticulously orchestrated biological symphony to collectively maintain optimal flexibility and to provide comprehensive protection against the relentless oxidative damage that, over time, can cause your vessels to become rigid, inelastic, and progressively narrow. For maximal circulatory enhancement, the scientifically recommended optimal dose is typically 400 international units (IU) daily. Crucially, to maximize absorption and minimize waste, it is advised to divide this total daily dose into 2 smaller portions of 200 IU each, taken with separate meals. Ingesting the entire 400 IU at once can overwhelm your body's absorptive capacity, leading to a substantial portion of the nutrient being excreted without conferring benefit. A noteworthy study conducted in Germany provided compelling evidence for this strategy. Seniors who strategically consumed their vitamin E supplement with their largest meal of the day absorbed an impressive 73% more of the nutrient compared to those who took it on an empty stomach or merely with a light snack. While vitamin E is undeniably potent, your legs often signal a need for a broader spectrum of nutritional support, which brings us to an even more profoundly impactful nutrient. Before we delve into this next critical insight, please take a moment to express your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Even more transformative revelations await immediately after this brief interlude. Vitamin number 5, vitamin C. At first glance, vitamin C might appear to be a fundamental, even rudimentary nutrient. However, the profound biological consequences that unfold within your legs in the absence of adequate vitamin C are genuinely alarming once the intricate underlying scientific mechanisms are fully comprehended. Your entire vascular network, from the largest arteries to the smallest capillaries, is structurally fortified and held together by an essential protein known as collagen. Visualize collagen as the vital steel rebar embedded within concrete, providing unparalleled structural integrity and resilience. Without sufficient levels of vitamin C, your body is literally rendered incapable of synthesizing this crucial collagen. This critical deficiency leads to a catastrophic weakening of your blood vessels, rendering them fragile, prone to leakage, and highly susceptible to collapsing under the normal physiological pressures exerted by circulating blood. Such structural compromise can have devastating long-term effects on circulatory efficiency. Cutting-edge research recently published by distinguished scientists at Stanford University has illuminated this critical connection, demonstrating that seniors who maintained optimal vitamin C levels possessed blood vessels that exhibited an astonishing 40% greater elasticity and responsiveness when directly compared to those individuals who were identified as deficient. This enhanced elasticity is not merely an incidental observation, it is an absolutely pivotal physiological attribute. Your leg vessels, in particular, are subjected to a constant, demanding workload, requiring them to rhythmically expand and contract literally thousands of times throughout each day. This ceaseless dynamic action is essential to effectively pump blood back upwards against the relentless force of gravity, a feat of biological engineering that relies heavily on resilient, flexible vessel walls. The primary challenge associated with vitamin C lies in its water-soluble nature. Unlike fat-soluble vitamins, your body possesses no significant capacity to store vitamin C reserves. Consequently, a vast number of individuals over the age of 75 are found to be chronically deficient, primarily because their daily dietary intake is insufficient to maintain the consistent, steady blood levels necessary for optimal physiological function. There exists a fascinating nuance regarding vitamin C that remains largely unknown even among many medical practitioners. Its role extends far beyond merely facilitating collagen synthesis. This remarkable nutrient also actively functions as a powerful protective agent, diligently shielding your existing blood vessels from ongoing damage. It achieves this by efficiently neutralizing free radicals, highly reactive and destructive molecules that relentlessly attack vessel walls, initiating inflammatory cascades that, in turn, directly impede and obstruct healthy blood flow. To maximize the profound benefits of vitamin C for leg circulation, a sophisticated approach known as the divided dose protocol is highly recommended. Instead of consuming a single, large bolus dose, much of which your kidneys would rapidly excrete, this strategy advocates for taking smaller, more frequent amounts, typically every 4 hours. This methodical approach ensures the maintenance of stable and consistent blood levels of vitamin C throughout the entire day, optimizing its therapeutic presence. When considering natural food sources, fresh kiwi fruit stands out as an exceptional choice, containing an impressive 3 times more vitamin C than the commonly lauded orange. Furthermore, the vitamin C naturally present in kiwis is uniquely bound to its inherent dietary fiber, which cleverly creates a natural time-release effect within your intestines. This ingenious mechanism provides a sustained and gradual absorption of the nutrient over several hours, profoundly superior to the rapid spike and subsequent crash in blood levels often experienced with conventional, rapidly absorbed supplements. If you opt for supplementation, it is prudent to steer clear of standard ascorbic acid tablets, as these can often be irritating to the stomach lining and are frequently poorly absorbed. Instead, seek out formulations such as buffered vitamin C or sodium ascorbate, which are notably gentler on the digestive system and exhibit a prolonged residence time within your body, enhancing their effectiveness. For promoting robust circulation, a beneficial dosage regimen is typically 500 milliliters taken 3 times daily, specifically with meals. However, a critical component often overlooked is the synergistic co-ingestion of vitamin C with bioflavonoids, such as quercetin or rutin. These powerful plant compounds play an indispensable role by protecting vitamin C from premature oxidation and, crucially, dramatically augmenting its effectiveness in reinforcing and strengthening the delicate yet vital walls of your blood vessels. Interestingly, red bell peppers emerge as arguably the ultimate natural food source for optimizing leg circulation. They are not only abundant in vitamin C, but also contain capsaicin, a unique compound that induces a gentle warming effect, directly promoting the dilation of blood vessels and leading to an immediate improvement in blood flow. Nevertheless, even with meticulously optimized vitamin C levels, you might still be overlooking another absolutely crucial piece of the intricate circulatory puzzle. Vitamin number 4, vitamin B3 niacin. Vitamin B3, also widely recognized by its chemical name niacin, performs an absolutely extraordinary and unparalleled function within your legs that no other vitamin can genuinely replicate. Within mere minutes of its ingestion, niacin literally compels your blood vessels to expand, a physiological response that doctors term a flush. This remarkable phenomenon orchestrates a rapid rush of warm, richly oxygenated blood, propelling it through even the most minuscule and previously underperfused capillaries nestled within the furthest reaches of your feet and toes. The impact of this vasodilation is both immediate and profoundly beneficial. A groundbreaking study conducted at the prestigious Cleveland Clinic meticulously investigated the effects of niacin. Researchers administered 500 milligrams of niacin daily to a cohort of seniors who were actively suffering from compromised leg circulation. Employing advanced ultrasound technology to precisely measure changes in blood flow, the results obtained were nothing short of staggering. Within a mere 6 weeks, participants demonstrated an astounding 180% increase in circulation, specifically to their lower legs. Furthermore, a significant number of these participants reported the complete disappearance of chronic, debilitating leg cramps, a testament to niacin's profound therapeutic efficacy. What renders niacin so uniquely potent is its multifaceted mechanism of action, working simultaneously through several critical pathways. Firstly, it effectively reduces the concentration of sticky, low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, often referred to as bad cholesterol, which is notorious for accumulating and progressively clogging arteries, impeding blood flow. Concurrently, niacin elevates levels of high-density lipoprotein, HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, which plays a protective role by actively scavenging and clearing excess cholesterol from the arterial walls. Beyond its direct impact on lipid profiles, niacin also triggers the endogenous release of powerful compounds known as prostaglandins. These lipid compounds are potent vasodilators, acting like biological engineers who, rather than expanding a 2-lane highway, miraculously transform it into a 6-lane thoroughfare, dramatically increasing the capacity for blood to flow freely and efficiently. The characteristic flush sensation that many individuals experience shortly after taking niacin, wherein the skin temporarily reddens and feels noticeably warm, is far from an undesirable side effect. It is, in fact, a direct and unequivocal signal that the niacin is actively and perfectly executing its function. It signifies that millions of tiny blood vessels, previously constricted and sluggish, are now vigorously opening up, allowing life-sustaining blood to reach areas of the body, particularly the extremities, that may have been critically oxygen-starved for many years. However, to maximize its profound benefits, while simultaneously minimizing the often uncomfortable intensity of the flush, which can unfortunately lead some individuals to discontinue its use, there is a very specific and strategic protocol for niacin administration. Begin with an exceedingly cautious dose of just 50 milligrams, taken once daily after dinner, and maintain this dosage for a full week. Subsequently, incrementally increase the dose to 100 milligrams for the following week. This gradual titration allows your body ample time to adapt, progressively working your way up to the full therapeutic dose of 500 milligrams over the course of approximately 1 month. It is important to note that the immediate release form of niacin is generally considered superior for optimizing circulation compared to extended release formulations. This is because the immediate release version more effectively elicits that beneficial flush, which, as previously explained, is the direct physiological signal of significant blood vessel dilation. While the flush is a positive indicator, you can further mitigate any associated discomfort by ensuring it is always taken with food and by abstaining from hot beverages or alcohol for at least 2 hours both before and after its consumption, as these can exacerbate the flushing sensation. Natural food sources rich in niacin include lean turkey, succulent chicken breast, and nutrient-dense peanuts. However, here arises another crucial consideration. The niacin naturally present in food sources is typically bound to proteins, necessitating its breakdown by stomach acid for proper absorption. Therefore, if you are currently taking acid-blocking medications which suppress stomach acid production, it is highly probable that you are absorbing very little, if any, niacin from your diet. For the most effective and comprehensive protocol aimed at enhancing leg circulation, it is recommended to take 250 milligrams of immediate-release niacin twice daily, conscientiously administered with meals. Furthermore, and importantly, always consider co-administering it with a low dose or baby aspirin, typically 81 milligrams. This clever synergistic combination not only helps to significantly reduce the intensity of the niacin flush, but also, remarkably, enhances niacin's circulatory benefits by mitigating platelet aggregation, thereby promoting even smoother blood flow. Yet, our journey into optimizing circulatory health continues, revealing another vitamin that operates on an even deeper, more fundamental level within your circulatory system. Vitamin number 3, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is, without exaggeration, the undisputed circulation superhero that far too few people are aware of or discuss, despite its monumental importance. Its absolute criticality for the health and functionality of your legs cannot be overstated, and here's why. At its core, vitamin K2 performs a truly unique and life-preserving function. It acts as a masterful traffic controller for calcium within your body. Specifically, it actively prevents calcium from accumulating in your arteries, where its unchecked deposition can transform these normally flexible, resilient conduits into rigid, inflexible pipes, severely impeding blood flow. Instead, K2 meticulously directs this potentially harmful calcium away from your delicate arterial walls and precisely into your bones, where it rightfully belongs and is desperately needed for structural integrity and density. A groundbreaking and meticulously conducted observational study, famously known as the Rotterdam Study, embarked on a comprehensive follow-up of an extensive cohort of 4,800 participants over an impressive span of more than 10 years. The unequivocally clear findings from this seminal research revealed that individuals who exhibited the highest dietary intake of vitamin K2 experienced a remarkable 52% reduction in arterial calcification, the hardening of arteries due to calcium buildup, and, even more significantly, a staggering 57% lower risk of succumbing to cardiovascular disease-related mortality. The improvements observed in leg circulation among the participants were so profoundly dramatic and statistically significant that the research scientists involved hailed this discovery as the single most important breakthrough in cardiovascular health in several decades. The persistent challenge, however, is that vitamin K2 is virtually absent from the typical modern Western diet, unless one consciously makes an effort to consume very specific fermented foods. Even when these specialized foods are incorporated, a considerable number of individuals over the age of 75 often contend with various gut bacteria imbalances, which unfortunately compromise and prevent the proper and efficient absorption of this vital nutrient. Your leg arteries are particularly vulnerable to the detrimental effects of calcification, a susceptibility exacerbated by the constant, relentless pressure they endure from gravity and the continuous muscular contractions associated with movement. Without adequate levels of vitamin K2, calcium deposits insidiously accumulate along the arterial walls, much like limescale building up in old, corroded plumbing pipes. This progressive buildup inevitably restricts the internal diameter of the vessels, severely impeding blood flow and directly contributing to that pervasive, heavy, and perpetually tired sensation frequently experienced in the legs. A common source of confusion regarding vitamin K2 stems from the fact that it is fundamentally and biochemically distinct from vitamin K1. Vitamin K1, found abundantly in leafy green vegetables, plays a crucial role primarily in blood clotting mechanisms. In contrast, K2 specifically functions to activate a suite of specialized proteins, most notably matrix gliaprotein, MGP, and osteocalcin. These proteins collectively act as highly sophisticated traffic controllers for calcium, ensuring its appropriate distribution throughout the body. The Japanese population has intuitively understood and benefited from this crucial insight for many decades, which is precisely why traditional Japanese diets include natto, a unique fermented soybean dish that boasts the highest natural concentration of vitamin K2 found on the planet. This dietary staple is strongly implicated in the fact that Japanese seniors exhibit an astonishing 85% less arterial calcification compared to their American counterparts of the same chronological age. If the distinctive taste and texture of natto, which, to be frank, often elicits comparisons to sweaty gym socks for most Western palates, proves unpalatable, there are other, more accessible food sources, albeit with lower concentrations. These include aged cheeses such as Gouda and Brie, nutrient-dense grass-fed butter, and the vibrant egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens. However, it is important to acknowledge that achieving therapeutic doses of K2 through these food sources alone would necessitate consuming truly enormous quantities. For effective supplementation, the specific form of vitamin K2 you should seek is menaquinone 7, commonly abbreviated as MK7, rather than menaquinone 4, MK4. The distinction is profound. MK7 remains biologically active within your body for an impressive 72 hours, offering sustained benefits, whereas MK4's activity dwindles after a mere 8 hours. This prolonged activity of MK7 ensures continuous circulatory benefits throughout both your waking hours and during sleep. The scientifically established optimal dose for actively reversing existing arterial calcification and significantly enhancing leg circulation is 180 micrograms of MK7 daily. It is imperative that this supplement is taken with your fattiest meal of the day, as vitamin K2 is inherently fat-soluble and its absorption is drastically compromised without the simultaneous presence of dietary fat. With this understanding, we are now truly advancing into the realm of the heavy hitters, vitamins that possess the power to genuinely transform your circulatory health from the ground up. Vitamin number 2, vitamin D3. Paradoxically, vitamin D3 is not merely a vitamin in the conventional sense, but rather a profoundly powerful steroid hormone, exerting a far-reaching influence by directly controlling the expression of over 1,000 genes throughout your body. Among these critical genetic pathways are those intricately responsible for regulating the complex functions and structural integrity of your blood vessels. Astonishingly, seniors who maintain optimal levels of vitamin D3 possess blood vessels that, under meticulous microscopic examination, appear and function with the vibrant characteristics of vessels belonging to individuals a full decade younger. The iconic Framingham Heart Study, a cornerstone of cardiovascular research, unveiled a truly shocking revelation regarding vitamin D3's impact. The study meticulously demonstrated that individuals over the age of 75, whose vitamin D levels fell below 30 nanomoles per liter, NOML, exhibited an alarming 80% increase in arterial stiffness and a concerning 62% reduction in blood flow, specifically to their extremities, when directly compared to those participants who maintained levels above 50 NOML. This substantial physiological disparity translated directly and demonstrably into significant differences in their objective walking ability and overall leg strength, underscoring the profound functional consequences of suboptimal vitamin D levels. A key to understanding D3's mechanism lies in the fact that your blood vessels are not passive conduits. Their walls are richly adorned with specific vitamin D receptors. When these receptors are properly activated by circulating vitamin D3, they trigger a cascade of molecular events, culminating in the robust production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is universally recognized as the master molecule of vascular health, possessing the remarkable capacity to relax and dilate your blood vessels. This crucial action allows blood to flow with unparalleled freedom and ease, effectively navigating even the tiniest, most delicate capillaries in your toes and fingers, ensuring comprehensive perfusion. Here's a crucial piece of information often overlooked regarding vitamin D3 supplementation. Contrary To popular belief, taking a larger dose once a week can actually prove more effective than a daily regimen of smaller doses. This counterintuitive approach works because D3 is inherently fat-soluble and is efficiently stored within your body's fat cells, from which it is then slowly and steadily released over time. This creates a consistent and sustained supply that your blood vessels can continuously utilize for optimal function. While sunlight remains the most natural and potent source of vitamin D, a significant physiological change occurs with aging. After the age of 75, your skin's capacity to synthesize vitamin D from sun exposure diminishes by a dramatic 75% compared to your younger years. This reduction is compounded by the reality that most seniors, due to various lifestyle factors, do not achieve adequate sun exposure in the first place. Therefore, if you are a senior, supplementation is not just an option, but often an absolute necessity. However, a critically important synergy exists. It is absolutely essential to take vitamin D3 in conjunction with vitamin K2. These two fat-soluble vitamins work in a powerful complementary fashion. While D3 significantly enhances the absorption of dietary calcium into the bloodstream, K2 acts as the intelligent guide, meticulously directing that absorbed calcium away from your vulnerable arteries and into your bones and teeth, where it is structurally vital. Taking D3 alone, without the balancing presence of K2, can paradoxically worsen arterial calcification, turning a beneficial action into a potentially detrimental one. The scientifically recommended optimal protocol involves taking 5,000 international units, IU, of vitamin D3, ideally with your breakfast, alongside 180 micrograms of vitamin K2 in its MK7 form, and here's another critical detail that significantly impacts efficacy. You must take these supplements with a meal containing healthy dietary fats, such as those found in whole eggs or nutrient-dense avocado. Research has unequivocally shown that D3 absorption can increase by a remarkable 50% when consumed with a meal containing at least 15 grams of fat. When considering natural food sources, wild-caught salmon, nutrient-packed sardines, and flavorful mackerel stand out as exceptional choices, as they naturally contain both vitamin D3 and beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, which further enhance D3's circulatory benefits. However, to maintain consistently optimal levels through diet alone, one would need to consume fish daily, which is often impractical, explaining why supplementation is almost invariably necessary for seniors to achieve and maintain therapeutic levels. And now, the moment you have been eagerly anticipating, the revelation of the single most powerful vitamin that truly changes everything for leg circulation. Vitamin number 1, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 stands as the absolute monarch, the undisputed king among all circulation-enhancing vitamins. And here, I present a startling truth, a revelation that will fundamentally reshape your understanding of your leg-related challenges forever. A landmark Japanese study involving an extensive cohort of 1,000 seniors meticulously investigated the impact of correcting vitamin B12 deficiency. The findings were nothing short of astonishing. By simply addressing this deficiency, participants experienced an astounding 400% increase in leg blood flow within a mere 12 weeks. Some individuals who had previously struggled immensely, barely managing the short walk to their mailbox, were transformed, astonishingly able to complete rigorous 5K walks. The profound reason behind vitamin B12's incredible potency for circulation is its multifaceted and indispensable roles within the body's physiological machinery. Firstly, it is absolutely central to the production of healthy red blood cells, which are the vital carriers responsible for transporting life-sustaining oxygen to every cell and tissue, particularly the muscles of your legs. Without adequate B12, red blood cell production falters, leading to oxygen starvation. Secondly, B12 is crucial for maintaining the integrity of the myelin sheath, the protective fatty layer that insulates nerves. This includes the intricate network of nerves that precisely control the dilation and constriction of your blood vessels, ensuring their responsive and efficient function. Damage to this sheath, often due to B12 deficiency, impairs nerve signals, directly impacting vascular control. Thirdly, B12 plays a critical role in reducing the levels of homocysteine, a toxic amino acid. Elevated homocysteine levels are highly detrimental as they directly damage the delicate walls of blood vessels and trigger inflammatory responses that obstruct healthy blood flow, creating a hostile environment within the circulatory system. Herein lies the truly terrifying aspect of B12 deficiency. As individuals advance beyond the age of 60, a significant physiological change occurs. The stomach's capacity to produce both stomach acid and intrinsic factor, two absolutely indispensable components required for the efficient absorption of vitamin B12 from dietary sources, dramatically diminishes. This means that even if you conscientiously consume pounds of B12-rich meat, your body may still be critically unable to extract and utilize this vital nutrient, leading to severe deficiency. By the age of 75, an alarming statistic reveals that up to 40% of the population may have vitamin B12 levels so critically low that they are silently experiencing insidious neurological damage without even being consciously aware of it. The symptoms associated with vitamin B12 deficiency are tragically perfect mimics of what many people mistakenly attribute to the normal aging process in their legs. These include persistent numbness, uncomfortable tingling sensations, pronounced weakness, compromised balance, and that agonizing burning sensation that can relentlessly disrupt sleep and daily comfort. However, it is crucial to reiterate, these are emphatically not normal signs of aging. Instead, they are unequivocal distress signals, clear indications that your vital nerves and blood vessels are quite literally starving for the essential nourishment that vitamin B12 provides. The standard blood test commonly used to assess B12 levels is, regrettably, practically useless for accurately diagnosing functional deficiency. This is because it measures both active and inactive forms of the vitamin, meaning an individual can present with a normal reading on a blood test while simultaneously being profoundly functionally deficient at the cellular level. This critical diagnostic gap is why it is imperative to specifically request a test for methylmalonic acid, MMA levels, which provides a far more accurate and comprehensive picture of your true B12 status and metabolic activity. While food sources such as nutrient-dense liver, succulent clams, and robust beef are indeed rich in vitamin B12, here is the game-changing secret that bypasses the complexities of diminished stomach acid and intrinsic factor, sublingual, under the tongue, vitamin B12 supplements. These innovative formulations entirely circumvent the digestive system, allowing the vitamin to be directly absorbed into your bloodstream through the rich, highly vascularized network of blood vessels located beneath your tongue. This direct route offers an incredible tenfold improvement in absorption compared to conventional oral pills, ensuring a far greater quantity of the active nutrient reaches your systemic circulation. Furthermore, the specific form of vitamin B12 matters enormously for its efficacy. Cyanocobalamin, while widely available, is the cheaper synthetic form. Your body must undergo multiple complex metabolic conversions to transform it into its active, usable forms, a process that can be inefficient, especially in older adults. For optimal benefit, seek out the naturally active forms of B12, such as methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, which are directly bioavailable and readily utilized by the body to repair and restore the vibrant circulatory and neurological health that your legs so desperately need and deserve.